Your life had never been simple, but you had never imagined it would lead you here. Married to John Jungkook, the eldest son of the infamous John family. Growing up, you had envisioned a life of warmth and laughter, a love story filled with teasing and light-hearted moments. Instead, fate had bound you to a man who was the embodiment of control, power, and silent devotion. You were originally meant to marry Junghyun, Jungkook's younger twin, a charming and brilliant CEO. It had been an arrangement orchestrated by both families, one that seemed destined to unfold smoothly, but Jungkook had stepped in before the engagement was finalized, claiming you as his own. No one had expected it, least of all you, and once Jungkook had made his decision, there was no changing it. Now, a year into your marriage, you couldn't deny that he adored you. He gave you everything: comfort, security, and unwavering loyalty. Yet, despite all that, something was missing. Jungkook was a man of few words, always composed, always serious. He loved you deeply but never expressed it in ways you longed for. There were no playful banters, no teasing remarks. He wasn't even interested in arguments or fights with you, no matter how much you try. In fact, he apologized without any mistake. Just his silent presence and a love you could feel but never truly grasp. This morning was no different. Sitting across from him at breakfast, you watched as he focused on his laptop, barely paying attention to you as he sipped his black coffee. His sharp jawline, the way his brows furrowed in concentration, he was effortlessly intimidating yet maddeningly distant. You sighed, stirring your tea dramatically. You know, Jungkook, the kitty party I attended yesterday was a nightmare. Why? Did anyone dare to say anything to you? He responded, eyes still on his screen. You frowned. No, no one said anything, but these women act like their husbands are gods and they talk about them like trophies. It's ridiculous. Jungkook barely acknowledged you with a nod. Rolling your eyes, you leaned forward. One of them even had the audacity to ask me how I managed to tame you. You narrowed your eyes. And then another one said, I must be so lonely since my husband barely talks to me. At this, he finally lifted his gaze, frowning slightly. Who said that? You crossed your arms. Oh, now you are listening. Jungkook sighed, shutting his laptop with a soft click. I always listen. You scoffed. Oh, please, you have been giving me one-word replies for the past 10 minutes. His dark eyes met yours, his expression unreadable. I don't have much to say. You huffed. That's exactly the problem. You love me, but you are as expressive as a rock. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, studying you. Does that mean you doubt my love? You faltered at his words. No, but before you could finish, the front door opened and Junghyun strode in, all bright smiles and energy, a stark contrast to his twin brother. Morning, sister-in-law, he greeted, plopping onto the chair beside you. You look like you need to vent. Let me guess, my dear boring brother is being his usual self. You sighed dramatically. He's not boring when it comes to handle his mafia business, but don't know what to say when it comes to me. Junghyun smirked, leaning in. See, that's why our marriage would have been so much fun. Imagine the adventures we would have had. You laughed. Honestly, it probably would have been a lot more entertaining. At least you talked to me instead of grunting in responses. I will still listen to you. Tell me, what's the matter? You said I was telling him about the kitty party disaster the other day. How Mrs. Choi had the audacity to wear the same dress as me and act like she didn't notice. And all he said was, unfortunate. Jungkook flipped a page on his document. It was unfortunate. Junghyun grinned, nudging you. See, if we had gotten married, you would have never feel ignored. I would have roasted Mrs. Choi with you. You smirked. Oh, that would be so much fun. I bet you would have even made a whole scene just to put her in her place. Damn right, Junghyun laughed. You sighed, feigning wistfulness. What a missed opportunity. Before Junghyun could respond, the air shifted. A dark, almost tangible weight settled over the room. You turned to see Jungkook staring at both of you, his jaw tight, his gaze piercing. If you both value your peace, I'd choose your words carefully. He said. His voice was dangerously low, eyes locked onto Junghyun with an unmistakable warning. Junghyun blinked before chuckling, though he visibly straightened. Relax, young. I'm just messing around. Jungkook's gaze didn't waver. Joke about something else. Feeling particularly mischievous, you smiled. Oh, come on, Jungkook. You have to admit, Junghyun and I would have been an iconic duo. Jungkook's eyes darkened and he leaned forward. Keep talking, sweetheart. Let's see how much fun you'll have when you're not allowed to leave our bedroom for a week. Your breath hitched and Junghyun immediately coughed, standing up. Okay, I'm going to go before things get way too intimate. Jungkook's gaze didn't leave yours as he muttered. Smart choice. You bit your lip, suppressing a smile. Possessive, jealous Jungkook was rare, but it always made your heart race. Junghyun raised his hands in surrender. Alright, alright. No need to kill me in broad daylight. Jungkook exhaled slowly before standing up. He leaned down, pressing a kiss to your forehead. I'll come home early tonight. You crossed your arms. You always say that. This time his lips quirked into a smallest of smirks. I mean it. And just like that he was gone. Junghyun whistled lowly. Damn, he really doesn't like sharing you, does he? You grinned. Nope, and I kind of love that. Junghyun shook his head. You're impossible. You just laughed, already anticipating the long night ahead. As evening rolled in, you busied yourself in your room preparing for the night. You had picked out a dress Jungkook liked, nothing too extravagant, but enough to catch his attention. It wasn't every day you put in this much effort, but tonight you wanted to see something different in him. Maybe a little awe, a little appreciation. You held up the dress against your body, tilting your head as you studied your reflection. If this doesn't make him stare, I don't know what will. You placed it back on the bed and ran your fingers through your hair, sighing. Not that he ever really notices when I put in effort. Maybe I should just throw on sweatpants and see if he even blinks. You scoffed at your own thoughts, shaking your head. No, that's too easy. If he doesn't say something about this dress, I swear I'm making him suffer. You grabbed your perfume, giving yourself a little sprints before grinning at the mirror. Let's see how long Mr. Cold and Composed lasts tonight. Just then your phone buzzed on the nightstand. You grabbed it expecting a sweet message from Jungkook, but instead you were met with, I'm sorry love, might come late today, stuck in an important meeting. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Jungkook. You muttered, gripping your phone tighter. You had spent all this time getting ready, picking out the dress he liked, even debating whether to do your hair a certain way, all for him to cancel. You quickly tapped back. Important meeting? More important than your wife? A few moments later, don't be mad, baby. I'll make it up to you. You scoffed. Stay there, I don't want you. Frustration bubbling inside you, you threw your phone onto the bed and stormed out of your room. You needed to vent before you lost your mind. As you stepped into the hallway, you spotted someone coming up the stairs, Junghyun, or at least that's who you thought it was. His hair was slightly tousled, his hands stuffed in his pockets, and he was wearing a casual black shirt instead of Jungkook's usual fitted suits. It was unusual, but you were too annoyed to care. Oh, you are here. Perfect timing. Finally someone I can complain to. You huffed, marching up to him. You won't believe what your brother just did. He turned towards you. What did he do? Not answering your phone? You sighed. Even worse, he said he would come home early, but guess what? Surprise, surprise, he's coming late again. He tilted his head slightly. Must be important. You rolled your eyes. Of course, everything is important to him except me. You looked upset for real this time. He stepped in, amusement flickering in his eyes. Suffering, huh? You sighed before looking at him. Something about the way he was talking was just like Jungkook, but you were too frustrated to notice. Yes, suffering. Complete and total neglect from my husband. He upset you a lot, right? It's not like that. I know he has so much on his plate. He handles a dangerous world, but I want him to be serious about me too. I know he loves me, but it would be better if he shows it differently sometime. Be playful sometime and I'm so mad right now. First of all, let's talk about how he said he would come home early and now he is suddenly working late again. You air coated the last part with excessive flair. I swear I don't even know why I try anymore. He leaned against the wall, nodding thoughtfully. Sounds rough. Right. You threw your hands up. And do you know how little he talks? I could be telling him my life's deepest secrets, and all I would get in response is a or an I see. He smirked. Maybe he's just a great listener. Oh, please, you scoffed. Even you know the truth. You, on the other hand, at least you talk. You pointed a finger at him. Sometimes I wonder, would life have been more entertaining if I had just married you instead? For a split second, the air shifted, but you didn't notice. You were too busy complaining to catch the way his jaw twitched, the flicker of something darker in his eyes. You think so? He murmured, stepping closer. Absolutely, we would have fun. We would joke around. I wouldn't feel like I'm talking to a human statue. He chuckled. I see. You shot up immediately. Oh, that's what I mean. Jungkook always does that. The way he was looking at you made you pause. Something was off. The smirk, the stance, the way he was effortlessly cornering you without even trying. It suddenly felt way too similar. Your eyes narrowed. You studied his face properly this time, and then your eyes landed on his hands, his tattoo filled arm, and your stomach dropped. No wonder he looked a little different tonight because he wasn't Junghyun, he was Jungkook, your husband, the very man you had been passionately ranting about for the last 5 minutes. Oh, you said vaguely. Oh, he mimicked you while a smirk plastered on his face. Jungkook? Yes, sweetheart, go on. Tell me more about how fun life would be if you had married my brother instead. You swallowed, smiling awkwardly. I was just, hypothetical. He nodded, tapping his fingers against his chin. So let's see. I don't talk enough. I don't listen. I'm boring, and now you are regretting marrying me. You let out a nervous laugh. Regret is such a strong word. I don't remember saying that. Oh, really? His smirk widened as he leaned in until his lips were just a breath away from your ear. I thought I was the human statue. You swallowed thickly. Well, statues can be nice. His chuckle was low, almost dangerous. Careful, sweetheart. If you are going to bed mouth me, at least make sure I'm not the one you are talking to. Wait, hold on. How was I supposed to know it was you? You look different tonight. Why are you even dressed like that? He leaned back casually, sliding his hands into his pockets. Was planning a surprise for you. You froze. What? But you said you would come late. His lips curled at the corners. I texted that on purpose so I could set something up. Your guilt came crashing down like a tidal wave. Oh, yeah. He stepped forward until he was standing right in front of you. But instead, I come home and Here you plotting a whole alternate life without me. You winced. I wasn't plotting, but I see. You groaned, shoving his arm. Don't use my own words against me. He grabbed your wrist before you could pull away, tugging you up effortlessly. I should punish you for that. Your eyes widened. Punish? His smirk deepened. For betraying your husband. Oh my god, Jungkook. I was just venting. I swear I'm sorry, okay? I was just angry because I planned so much and then you said you'll come late. Your breath hitched as Jungkook took a slow, deliberate step towards you, the dim hallway lights casting sharp shadows over his sharp jawline. His smirk deepened, dark amusement flickering in his eyes. You were venting, huh? His voice was low, smooth, laced with something dangerous. Complaining about your oh so terrible husband to my own twin. Your face burned. It's not like that. I thought you were Junghyun and... Jungkook let out a dark chuckle. And what, sweetheart? That makes it any better? He tilted his head watching you squirm. You had a lot to say about me. You swallowed hard. I didn't mean... Before you could finish, he suddenly reached out, wrapping an arm around your waist and pulling you flush against him. A gasp escaped your lips as your hands landed on his chest, feeling the warmth of his skin through the fabric. I should make you pay for bad-mouthing me, he murmured, his lips hovering just above yours. Your breath hitched. Jungkook. He cut you off by effortlessly scooping you up in his arms. A startled squeal left your lips as he strode towards the bedroom with purpose. Jungkook, put me down. You squirmed, but he tightened his hold. His grip was possessive. Not a chance. You were so eager to rant about me. Let's see if you can still talk when I'm done with you. He kicked the door shut behind him, and in an instant, your back met the plush mattress. You barely had time to react before he caged you beneath him. His hands braced on either side of your head. His dark eyes roamed over you, predatory, as if he was drinking in every inch of your flustered state. Go on, sweetheart, say something now. Your lips parted, but words failed you. The air between you thickened, heavy with tension. His fingers trailed up your arm, feather-light, making you shiver. Then, in one smooth motion, he leaned down, his breath warm against your ear. Let's see if you are still mad after this. Your breath hitched as Jungkook's lips barely grazed your ear, sending a shiver down your spine. His fingers trailed down your arm, slow and teasing, his touch feather-light yet electrifying. Jungkook, your voice wavered between anticipation and embarrassment. He hummed, his nose brushing along your jaw. Where did all the sass go, love? Your fingers curled into the fabric of his shirt, and you swore he could feel how fast your heart was racing. He pulled back just enough to look at you, amusement dancing in his dark eyes. Lost for words now. Weren't you just listing all my flaws a few minutes ago? You huffed, pushing weakly against his chest. I was frustrated. I planned the whole night for you. His lips were on yours before you could finish, capturing whatever complaints you had left in a slow teasing kiss. It was deliberate control, like he was punishing you for talking too much earlier. He didn't rush, didn't let you deepen it, just pulled away with a smirk when you tried to chase his lips. Planned a night for me, His hand trailed down your waist, fingers tracing slow circles. And yet, here you were complaining to my brother. You really think you can badmouth your husband and get away with it? Your cheeks burned. I didn't badmouth you. I was just... Jungkook let out a low chuckle, tilting his head. Oh really? Because I heard every single word. His fingers skimmed along the curve of your hip, making your breath hitch. How I'm a workaholic ghost of a husband. How I don't appreciate you. How you would rather have Junghyun as your husband. I swear I didn't mean that. I was just frustrated. Then I should remind my wife exactly who she married. What a disloyal wife I have. Not only did she rant about me to my own brother, but she couldn't even tell the difference between us. Your face burned as you groaned, covering it with your hands. I swear I wasn't paying attention. You were dressed differently and I was just so mad. Jungkook grabbed your wrist, pinning them above your head with one hand. Mad enough to betray me? Your breath hissed. It wasn't a betrayal. I was just... His knee nudged between your legs, his lips brushing against your jaw. I should make you beg for forgiveness, shouldn't I? The heat between you was unbearable. Your body betrayed you, arcing into his touch. Jungkook. His tongue flicked against your pulse, his free hand slipping under the fabric of your dress, his fingers feather-light as they traced your thigh. Say you are sorry, my love. Your lips parted, but your pride refused to give in so easily. Jungkook pulled back slightly, a knowing smirk playing on his lips. Oh, no apology? Then maybe I should just... Panicking, you grabbed his shirt, pulling him back down before he could move away. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry for thinking you were Junghyun. I'm sorry for complaining. I'm sorry for every bad thing I've ever said about you. Jungkook chuckled, his lips brushed yours. That's better. And then he kissed you. It wasn't soft or gentle, it was deep, claiming laced with the possessiveness he had simmering under his playful exterior. His tongue teased yours.